We're both on the go today.
Yeah, it's just Seth on the go today.
Seth said, "What? On the go."
I don't know. That's right. That's right, Mom. We hear you.
Yes. Well, today's is
Well, this one's like
short
a
and sweet.
super short, right?
Yes.
It is a golden cookie, as we sometimes say. I feel like I've been
Yep.
reading a lot lately. You want to go this time?
Sure. Okay. Um, okay, ready? No is an option. Maybe is the problem. If you're serious, say yes. And if it's not for you, walk away. But endlessly reconsidering opportunities without forward motion is a place to hide. I feel like this is like my personal manifesto.
Okay. Well, then bring it.
Well, I just mean that part of well, I named my company the Ready Network 5 years ago with feeling very drawn to the word ready, but couldn't really put my finger on why. And I've been fascinated by people who just do things, whether they're ready or not. And recently,
Mm.
I was in a coaching call with somebody, and I said, I really believe we get ready by doing. And I was like, that's it. That's what I think fuels me and drives me, and what I want to encourage other people by and the work that I get to do is you will never have like the people who have changed the world didn't have all the answers, didn't necessarily have the experience or have a beautifully created strategic plan that they knew was going to work. They just started doing. And by doing, we get ready.
Mm.
And I feel like that's what Seth is saying here. Um, Forward motion is what makes a difference, but standing still doesn't doesn't help. Now, I will say it's not to say that we should be, you know, um, that we should be dumb. Like just to call like it doesn't mean that we should just like make stupid
Right.
decisions and be rash. Because what he's also saying here is like be clear on what you want. Like say no if it's not for you, but get to yes or no as quickly as possible because then maybe not only will it drain your energy, but it will withhold you from the opportunities that you should move forward on. And then I have a whole nother TED talk on what happens when leaders say maybe when they don't provide the clarity for your
Okay.
team. But I digress. So anyway,
Nice.
that's why it resonated with me.
No, it's great. And I think of funny, I was thinking about how, and I find myself living in the land of maybe, fear of commitment sometimes. And um, we were both raised in the South, and I don't know, Texas isn't really the South. It's kind of its own world, right? But being raised in the South, it's funny that we have all these words for, like, I found myself saying a sentence like this: we might could possibly try that out maybe. And it's like you just said maybe in like just four different ways and constructed a sentence out of it. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to not, the might could is the southern part, by the way. So anybody who's hearing this, it wasn't raised in the might could, like who says that?
Mhm.
It's That's the southern like. But yeah, and I was trying to find, I feel like someone on LinkedIn recently commented on something you posted, Holly, and it was kind of a question around how do you determine, um, uh,
Oh, it was
how
yesterday.
do you determine,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm trying to find it because it was like a really thoughtful question, I
I
thought.
think it was on my
Um,
on the Ready Network on LinkedIn. Here, I'll let me find it. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
but I
It
mean, in
was
so many words, I think it was, go ahead.
yeah. Here we go. Um, Reminds me of this was in response to our post about um in response to our post about our 20 days of podcasting. And he said,
Right.
it reminds me of James Clear's 1% compounding consistency, but there's something more than just behavioral change in this process. It's a deeper emotional and mental change that is happening through consistent action, recognizing that you are someone. with big goals and aspiration. Have you begun to wrestle with and quantify how many priorities you can maintain with such a high level of intention and commitment? It seems that too many
Yeah.
priorities are the other side of the same coin, often our greatest downfall in achieving sustainable success. Yeah,
So I think
it's a great
that's
question.
I think it's a timely question. It's kind of related because you do have to say no or yes to things because every what is it they say every yes is a no to something else. And so like
Yeah.
how many priorities can you maintain? Like I don't know. It's a related I thought question that maybe I thought I would invite you to respond to Josh Orwick uh, on on the podcast.
Yes. I mean, I think it really depends on the person. So I think there's something I've learned from Tim Stevens, who we heard on one of our first episodes in the car with us. He talks about your
That's right.
span of care, and he talks about that specifically from a leadership perspective. Like for some people, they can have 10 direct reports, and though their emotional capacity is really big, and those people are all really cared for, and other people have it's better for them to have fewer direct reports. And it doesn't mean that one person is a better leader than the other. It's actually the fact like great leaders are aware of what is their span of care. And I think that's true for when we're leading projects or initiatives as well. Like, I was just last night talking to my friend Sarah Robbins, and she was saying there's big plate people and there's small plate people. It's just identifying who you are. And again, neither is right or wrong. We need small plate people and we need big plate people. But I'm a big plate person. Like, I like to have a lot on my plate. I like to have a diversity of things that I can try. And I get really bored if I am only doing one thing. But where I need to be intentional about is what goes on that plate. So I think it's really that self awareness piece to be aware of what's important to you in your life, what needs to be in that order. Is it, for me, it's like being a wife, being a mom, and then work. And I can so easily get those out of order. But they should all inform what each other look like in order to hold space for prioritizing all three of those.
Great answer. And I like a bigger plate simply because it means more food. So
Yeah,
that's always going to be my answer. Gonna fill that
we do
sucker
love the
up,
whole
and
family. We do love our
it's gonna
food.
be just saying. No, that's really good. Span of care. I like that. That's a Tim Stevens classic, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
hmm,
So I guess the question would be,
that's
what are you
cool.
saying maybe to today that you need to either give it a yes or a no? So what are you saying maybe to
Yeah,
today that you either need to give it a yes or a no for the sake of your own self, but also the sake of those that you're leading or you're working with or your family? Um, but that would be a good takeaway today. We'd love to hear from you. Go to sethsaidwhat.com. Let us know. Um, and well, actually, I'll answer that.
yeah.
I feel
Give
like
us
I've got
more.
two clients. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, no, it's great. Keep going.
Oh, sorry. I think there's a little bit of a lag. Um, I have two of my biggest clients are coming to an end this month, and ask me tomorrow how I feel. But today, I'm just really trying to have that abundance mindset and say, I've, loved, and this is like a good, like we've known that this is happening. Like it's not like, it's just part of having retainer clients. They come to an end. I'm like, okay, that just means something bigger and better is around the corner. But I think for me, the maybe is like, oh, well, should I try to make it work and pitch them something else and da 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 da, rather than saying, yes or no, like committing to what do I actually want? Because that's the hard work. We say maybe because we're not pausing enough to do the hard work to say, does this align with what I really want? That's true for me. And so I need to like stop and say, does this client or this opportunity align with what I really want? And then have the courage to say yes or no. So that's a good exercise for all of us to
Yeah,
do.
that's good. And to end here in maybe a slightly PG, I'm gonna go for it. Slightly PG ending. There's a guy named Derek Sivers who wrote a book. The title alone is polarizing and
Mhm.
powerful. So I haven't read the book, but I'll say just the title alone is challenging and goes exactly with what we're talking about right now. And the title of Derek Sivers' book is simply Hell Yeah or No, What's Worth Doing? And the whole concept is that if you can't say that first part of that title to the commitment, then you should say no. Not a soft yeah, because that's still a maybe. His whole point is if you feel anything less than that about something, then the answer should be no, and that's challenging, and
Yeah,
so
so good.
it's even putting more on the side of yes needs to be a hard yes, and um, and a maybe, a soft yes, a maybe, and a no need to just all be no. Um,
Yes, that's so good. I need to read that
challenging.
book. That is very challenging. All right. Well, thanks for listening to Seth Said What. Go to sethsaidwhat.com, leave us your
Said
comments,
what?
and I'll talk to you tomorrow, brother.
Bye, sister.